Hey everyone, so something a little different today, because when I started this channel, I promised that if I ever would reach 100 subscribers, I would read a manga. And of course, because I'm a dairy farmer, I said I would read a manga about farming. And honestly, I made that promise thinking that I probably wouldn't be one. But of course, uh, there's a manga about almost anything these days. Yeah, so after reaching 100 subscribers, I picked up the first volume of Silver Spoon by Hiromu Arakawa. I was really interested to see how realistic a manga about an agricultural school and farming could actually be. Now, Silver Spoon is a coming of age, slice of life manga written and illustrated by Hiromu Arakawa, who is probably best known as the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist. And the story follows Hachikan, a city boy from Sapporo. And Hachikan is a good student, but he's exhausted by the academic pressure in his life, and especially by the expectations of his strict family. And wanting to get away from all that, he decides to enroll at an agricultural high school. And Hachikan makes one very important mistake. He thinks that because he is academically smart, agricultural school is going to be easy. But of course he quickly discovers that he is completely wrong. Now, unlike the schools he is used to, ESOAG, as the school is called, it's not just about sitting in the classroom and studying for exams. The students have to wake up early, work with animals, learn about farming, and actually deal with physical labor. And for Hatsken, that's actually a massive culture shock. And most of his classmates do come from farming families. Many of them already know exactly what they want to do with their lives. Some are expected to take over the family farm, while others already have experience working with animals and machinery. And Hatsukan has none of that. He has no experience with farming, and actually no real understanding of where food comes from, and maybe most importantly, no idea what he actually wants to do with his life. And that is what makes him an interesting main character. He isn't going to an agricultural school because farming is his dream. He's there because he wants to escape his old life. But now he has to find out who he actually is. And as someone who works on a dairy farm myself, this was obviously the main reason I wanted to read Silver Spoon. I wanted to know if the farming parts would feel realistic, or if it would just be a city person's idea of what farming is like. And honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. Now, of course, this is still a manga, and also is a comedy, so some things are exaggerated. But a lot of the basic reality of agricultural work is there. The early mornings, the physical work, and the animals, and the fact that farming is not some peaceful hobby where you just stand around in the field looking at cows all day is also definitely there. There's a lot of work involved, and I think that manga does a good job of showing how completely unprepared Hachiken is for that kind of life. And one of the things I found particularly interesting is that Arakawa actually grew up on a dairy farm herself. So she clearly knows this world personally, and I think the background comes through in the story. Now, Salespool isn't trying to present farming as some perfect romantic lifestyle. It shows the hard work, but it also it starts touching on some of the more difficult questions connected to agriculture. And one of the biggest examples is livestock. When you grow up around farming, you understand that animals can be raised for food. But for someone like Hatsuken, who has never really had to think about where his food comes from, that reality hits very differently. And the manga explores that through his experiences without becoming overly serious or preachy. At least in this first volume, it's more about Hatsuken starting to understand the world around him. And I thought that worked really well. And there are also hints that the series will deal with other issues surrounding farming, including the financial difficulties of running a farm, and also the pressure on young people who are expected to continue a family business. But at the same time, Silver Spoon is a very funny manga. And a lot of the humor comes from Hatsuken being completely out of his depth. He thinks he's prepared for this new school because he is good academically, only to discover that knowing how to study doesn't really help much when you suddenly have to deal with animals and physical work. And his classmates are also very different from him. And the contrast between this city boy and people who have grown up around farming creates a lot of the comedy. And I actually enjoyed this volume much more than I expected to. I went into Silver Spoon mainly because of the farming setting. I thought it would be interesting to read a manga about something I know something about and see whether it felt realistic. But I ended up enjoying the story itself as well. And Hatsuken is a likable main character because he doesn't have everything figured out. In fact, I think he probably has less figured out than almost anyone else at the school. He's surrounded by people who seem to have clear goals while he is still trying to work out what he wants from life. And it gives the story a nice coming of age element. And because it's only the first volume, it really feels like the beginning of a much larger journey for him. And I also like that Silver Spoon can be funny while still taking its subject seriously. Farming isn't just used as a strange setting for jokes, it clearly is an important part of the world and of the lives of many of the characters. And as a dairy farmer, I was probably always going to be more interested in this manga than the average reader, but I think you absolutely don't need any knowledge of farming to enjoy it. This is a story about a young person who doesn't know what he wants to do with his life and ending up in a completely unfamiliar environment and slowly learning more about himself. And the farming setting just makes that journey a little different. So yeah, overall I would say I really enjoyed the first volume of Silver Spoon. It was funny, easy to read and surprisingly interesting. And I picked it up mostly as a bit of a novelty because I had promised to read it. But now I'm actually interested in continuing the series. And honestly, that's probably the best thing I can say about it. I came for the farming, but I stayed for the story. If you've read Silver Spoon, I'd love to know what you thought of it. And if you haven't, is this the kind of manga you would be interested in reading? Also, what manga should I read next? Because now I've finally read a manga again, I've been thinking about maybe making this a more regular thing. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you again in the next one.